Good evening, guys. Our target today is that you're going to be able to describe graphs of equations in the format of y equals mx plus b. That's called your slope, intercept form. Remembering that we're going to learn what this m stands for, and remember it stands for slope. And we're going to learn what this b stands for, and it's kind of in the title. It's your y-intercept. Okay, so you should have your notes out, and we're ready to go. Go ahead and the title this is Describing Linear Graphs, and your essential question is how do you describe them? It's going to be that equation and how you describe them, the slope and the intercept, the y-intercept specifically. The x-intercept stands for that coordinate where it hits the x-axis. Here's a good picture. And the y-intercept, that one was x. The y-intercept goes with where it touches the y-axis. Remember, x goes right to left, y goes up and down. The slope-intercept form is a linear equation, so equation that makes a line, a very straight line, written in the format of y equals mx plus b. M is slope, and b is y-intercept. Now, I'm teaching you how to graph straight from an equation. So, straight from an equation to a graph. If you don't know how to do this, it's super important that you go back to the lesson before this, one where we talk about going from an equation to table, and then to a graph, because this way, this method right here, that 4-step method I talked about in the last lesson, you'll never go wrong. If you don't know what to do, if it's not given to you, the equation of a linear function is not given to you in this format and you don't know what to do, make a table and then make the graph. Since we're given it in the format of y equals mx plus b, where m is 3, so your slope is, it rises 3 and it runs 1, and the y-intercept is at -7, we can go ahead and start plotting. The first thing you want to start by is plotting your y-intercept. So 0, -7, right down here, I plotted that. Our second step is we are going to go from our y-intercept and we're going to go up 3, right 1. Up 3, 1, 2, 3, right 1, put a dot there. I'm going to do more than one dot so I can make my line as straight as possible. Technically, you only need 2 dots, but yesterday we talked about this marginal error that happens when you're doing this by hand. So I'm going to put more dots to make it a little bit more accurate. 1, 2, 3, right 1. 1, 2, 3, right 1. 1, 2, 3, right 1. And I've filled in my whole plane. When I connect the dots for this linear equation, I'm trying to be as accurate as possible. And I'm going through the whole window. I'm not stopping until I go through the whole thing. If I went too fast, please pause your video and rewind. Example 2, I'm going to be putting on the same graph. You can do that in your notes as well. So the first thing that we want to do is we want it to be into y equals mx plus b format. Example 2 is special, well different, because we have y minus 1. And we need to get rid of this minus 1. How do we undo subtraction? We undo subtraction with addition. So add 1 to both sides. Now, we'll have y equals -2/3 x plus 1. Does that look like y equals mx plus b? Yep, it does. Now we're ready to identify our slope. Our slope is that -2/3, so down 2, 3 to the right. And our y-intercept, we're identifying that b is 1. We're going to start with 1. Start at 0, 1, put a point there, put it on my graph. Then we're going to go down to right 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Okay, again, if you have a straight edge, make your line. Since I don't have a straight edge and I'm doing this on a computer, I'm going to do this a little bit with more dots so I can make it as accurate. Go down 2, right 3. All right, I'm still not satisfied with 3 dots because I have this quadrant 2 right here that I need more focus on because I can't draw straight lines on the computer. So I can go the opposite. I can go up 2, 1, 2, left 3, 1, 2, 3. And that point will still be on the line. It still has the same slope. So up 2, right 3. And now I'm ready to connect my dots, make my line a little bit straighter. Going through the whole graph, and I'm done. I graphed it. You did it. All right, example 3, graph the linear equations, identify their x-intercepts. So now we're going to find x-intercepts based off of our equations. And we're going to scratch out this section, say, using a graphing calculator, because we're not quite ready for graphing calculators. We will get there, and they will teach you how to use them, but not yet. So, does this look like it's in the format of y equals mx plus b? The answer should be in your head. You should be saying yes. M for this problem is 1 because you have 1x, so you're going to rise 1, and you're also going to run 1 because 1 over 1 is the same thing as 1. Your y-intercept is -4, so I'm going to start by graphing that. -4, right down here is -4. I'm going to rise 1, and I'm going to run 1. Since I'm just looking to graph this first and find the x-intercept, I'm going to keep going with my dots until I hit the x-axis and find that x-intercept. So rise 1, run 1, rise 1, run 1, rise 1, run 1. What did I find? I hit the x-axis right here. So the x-intercept is x equals 4 is your x-intercept. Now I need to finish off my graph, so I'm going to connect my dots. This graph continues even though we don't see the rest of the window. So I put those arrows on the end of it, and you're done. Example 4. Does this look like it's in the y equals mx plus b format? Yes, m is -1/2, so we're going to fall 1 because it's a -1 and go 2 to the right. The y-intercept is 1. So starting off with this y-intercept of 1, put a point there. Now we're going to go down 1 and over 2, and I already hit the x-axis for this one. This one was really fast, so x equals 2, and we're going to finish off our graph. Down 1, over 2, down 1, over 2. Missing this whole quadrant 2. I'm going to add some more dots so I can make my line straight. So I'm doing the opposite, up 1, left 2, up 1, left 2, up 1, left 2. And I'm ready to connect my dots through the whole window. All right. Again, if I went too quick, please pause the video and rewind. The next slide, you're going to try these examples on your own, and you're going to resume when you're ready to go over them. All right. You should have tried these problems on your own. If you haven't yet, please pause your video and try them, and then resume because I'll go over the answers really quick. All right, thanks for pausing your video. The slope, find the slope and y-intercept the graphs, and then graph the equation. Here's your slope, here's your y-intercept. You did it. First part, done. Here, this one, number 2, will be a little bit different because it has y minus 4, and we'll get into that. Now we're going to go through and graph it. We're going to go, y-intercept is 3, so 0, 3. 0, 3, make sure we know that. All right, now we're going to go down 5 because it says -5 over 1, down 5 over 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over 1. Can't go down any further in my window. Let's see if I can go up any. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nope. So this 2 points will have to be good for now for this one because I can't fit anything else in my window, and I'm done. All right. 2, since 2 isn't put into that y equals mx plus b, it has this minus 4 in front of it. We're going to add 4 to both sides first. Add 4 to both sides. Our new equation, the one that we know the format for, is y equals 1/2 x plus 4. So 1/2 is your slope. 4 is your y-intercept. So 0, 4 is where we're going to start. 0, 4, put a point there. Our intercept tells us to go up 1, right 2. So up 1, right 2, put a dot there. Up 1, right 2, put a dot there. Up 1, right 2, put a dot there. All right, I could stop here and just connect our lines. You could do that on your paper because you should have a straight edge. I'm going to continue because I'm using the computer again. Down 1, left 2, down 1, left 2, down 1, left 2. All right, if you didn't get a straight line when you graphed, you know you're doing something wrong because these are lines. We're learning how to graph lines. All right, go ahead and answer the reflection in your notes and then move on to the checkpoint. See you in the morning, guys. Bye.